So this is a pretty interesting clip that comes from last night's South Carolina Democratic debate. I actually didn't see this last night, and so it just caught my eye today when I was scrolling through Twitter. But really, really interesting. But before we jump into it, want to let you guys know I'm over on Patreon, patreon.com/theprogressivevoice. Links in the description box down below. There's a ton of Patreon-only content that you don't want to miss on. There's so much in there. Bill de Blasio going after Pete Buttigieg, just a ton of stuff. Link again in the description box down below. Go over there and check it out. So Elizabeth Warren, after the debate, happily shook hands with Michael Bloomberg, the guy who she was calling a sexist, rightfully so, and all of that stuff, NDAs with women, which I believe Elizabeth Warren is also using NDAs for her campaign now, funny enough. Not surprising, though. But she refuses to shake hands with the specific someone. Let's check this out. So as you can see, she doesn't shake hands with Bernie Sanders. You can see here there's a shake. There's a shake there which looks to be between, I guess, Tom and Warren or something like that. And then Warren just kind of walks away from Bernie, doesn't say anything, and doesn't seem to give a handshake either. So it looks like Warren is still trying to hold some sort of grudge or beef with Bernie that's totally unjust. I mean, if it's the person to hold a grudge, it's obviously Bernie Sanders, because he's the one in the right, obviously. Right? He was the one who was smeared by Elizabeth Warren as basically being someone who said in private that a woman couldn't defeat Donald Trump, which the implication of is that Bernie Sanders is a sexist, right? And so she really is a snake, man. I mean, who needs friends like, who needs enemies when you have friends like this who will just snake you at the turn, won't shake your hand, even though she shakes other people's hands, Bloomberg's hand. And it's just like, bro, like, what is going on here? What is Elizabeth Warren thinking? And what's really hilarious is, and I'm going to do a separate story on this, Elizabeth Warren's actually going to lose her home state on Super Tuesday of Massachusetts to Bernie Sanders, because she's not very popular in Mass. And her popularity seems to be confined to, like, just the Boston area. And polling data suggests that he's actually going to win, and he's actually revving up campaigns there. So it's going to be super hilarious when Bernie takes Elizabeth Warren's home state of Massachusetts, as well as likely Amy Klobuchar's home state of Minnesota. So it's going to be really interesting to see that. But, Elizabeth Warren, quite the snake, fam. Really snaking it up. But she totally lost all of my trust in her because she backstabbed Bernie Sanders completely unjustly, very, very disappointingly, and very unfortunately.